What's up, everybody? It's Levi from LeviLassick.com. Thanks again for joining us. Please like and subscribe below. This is episode 3 of 4 of my interview with Dr. Mike Andriano. And in this video, we cover eating habits, what you can do, intermittent fasting, and should you skip dinner, things of that nature. So also, for me, I had ulcerative colitis. For those that don't know, I'd lost 50 pounds in a single month, and I'd become bedridden and disabled. Medical doctors were not helping me out. I had seen 4 different GI doctors, and they ultimately were going to remove my colon, but I didn't want that. I didn't want to lose my colon at 33 years old. And so I found Dr. Mike and 4 other key doctors that helped me cure my ulcerative colitis over the next year. So in this episode, you're going to learn about those things, about eating habits and what you can do to improve those. And so stick around and join us, because I think you'll find this information very helpful.
Another big one I just really came to the revelation in the last few years about diet is we have food available to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year round. And if it was 100 years ago, that wouldn't be the case. We wouldn't have transportation or refrigeration. In different seasons, you have a lot of food available. Other seasons, you have a little bit of food available. You might eat once a day, maybe twice a day. You might even go days without eating because food's not available. Your supplies ran out. And the types of food wouldn't be available all year round. So fruits and vegetables are available for seasons, but they're not available all year round. So I think we've gotten ourselves into problems with that idea that we have so much food available. We think that we need to eat 3 times a day all year round. We don't. We think we need snacks. We don't. And over time, those really start to put a stress on our body.
Yeah. So are you getting towards recommending intermittent fasting or something like that?
I intermittent fast myself. I've had great success. Patients that are willing to do it have great success. But in that intermittent fasting, we say diet variability, meaning you may intermittent fast 2 meals a day over a 6-hour period for months, and then switch that up. Or even during a week, you might do 1 meal a day for 2 days a week, and 2 meals a day for 3 days a week, maybe a full fast one day, maybe 3 meals 2 days a week. So that variability, I think, is really important, because your body, because it adapts to stress, will actually adapt to the intermittent fasting if you're doing the same thing every day year round. So varying that, just like working out, after a while your workout kind of goes stagnant, so you switch things up. I think that even in the intermittent fasting, you switch that up periodically, or even weekly or monthly.
Yeah, I got on intermittent fasting about 2 years ago, and I love it. I mean, I eat at noon and 7
Yeah,
p.m.
if a lot of people think they can't do it, but as they get into it, and especially if they can get off some of the starchy foods, the real sugary stuff, they can start to go longer and longer without eating. And each time you kind of go into a fasting state, your body adapts to it a little bit. So the first week it might be really hard. The second week you get less hard, and the third week not hard at all. And a lot of people can go like, for instance, I eat usually one meal a day. I'll eat my dinner when I get home. It doesn't bother me in any way. My energy's good. And even sometimes I'll get home for dinner, I'm not even hungry. I could go 2-3 days without thinking about food and not worrying about whether I need to eat or not. My energy stays nice and good, because I've been doing this kind of thing for years now. So it's not a big problem, but as you practice, you get better at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me about 30 days to adjust, because I was so used to the kind of like 6 meals a day mentality for so long. Like 3 main meals and then a couple of 2 or 3 snacks in between, and eat every 2 or 3 hours, and kind of that mentality from high school football. I carried
that. Yeah, I used to do the same thing.
And so, but I absolutely love it. I mean, it's so much more convenient. I feel better. I mean, before I always felt full, and I felt just sluggish all the time as well. And I just don't think I was ever giving my digestion a break, which could have led to or contributed to
Contributed, sure.
and my problems in the future. So now, and I still work out at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. in the morning. And so I'll go even after a pretty strenuous workout for a good 5-6 hours. And before, I used to come home straight from the gym and consume and be like, I've got to refuel and replenish my body. And now I just go on another 4 or 5 hour fast, even from working out.
Sure.
And I feel great. I mean, I think it's a big help, and I love it. So
Yeah, I found it to be super helpful with me, and I same idea. I feel great when I'm doing it.
yeah. And I read a book, The Longevity Paradox, which is how to die young in your ripe old age.
Yeah.
And he talks about skipping dinner once a week, and which is kind of like a fast or a cleansing for your brain. And so I thought that was, I've yet to really adopt that, because I still need to figure out which day of the week I'm willing to skip dinner, just because, my 2 meals, I really enjoy my 2 meals.
Sure.
And so, but yeah, I mean, I did a 2-day fast a couple of months ago, and I went through that pretty easily, but by the 3rd day I was ready to eat. But it was amazing what you can notice your body change just in that time frame.
Yeah, absolutely. One good fast a year is there's a lot of research on it that it will extend lifespan for most people and decrease other incidents of the disease. And I've done a lot of fasting in my history. My first big fast was in college. I did a 21-day fast, basically a challenge. I wasn't into health so much at that point. It was just more like I heard people do this, and I thought I wanted to try it, and I did it. And it was kind of cool to see how your body responded to it. But over the years, I've done several fasts, 3 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, for different reasons, health reasons, spiritual reasons, and particularly when I'm going after a spiritual fast, it's just a great experience for me. But your body does respond in a lot of real positive ways. And there's a lot of science coming out right now just showing that there is some real positive benefits to fasting on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just to go back on, you were talking about environment, and I believe environment is a big deal about, and that it's, I have an infrared sauna in my house, which I've had since 2014. And I think that's a big reason why I continue to maintain. Actually, I feel like my immune system is just at an all-time high, like nonstop. And but I was reading right before quarantine, I was in my car at least 4 hours a day, just because of the work I was doing. Meeting with clients was usually all over the place. And so I'd have 3 or 4 client meetings, but when you're driving around Dallas traffic,
Sure.
An hour in between. So, and I read that if you spend 10 hours a week in your car, it gives you like a 40% greater chance for a cardiovascular event. And I imagine that's from, you're driving behind other cars. And even though your car has air filters, if you get behind a diesel truck or something, you still smell that exhaust fume come in. And I just never thought about that, spending prolonged periods of time. I actually kind of liked it. My car was kind of my oasis to drive around and listen to books or music, things like that. And then all of a sudden I'm going, wait a second, I'm spending 20 or 30 hours a week in the car. So, but I think, something like infrared sauna, and if you don't have an infrared sauna, sweating is so key. And I think especially for people in your neck of the woods, in Chicago, where it's cold 10 months out of the year, you really got to do what you can do during the winter months to sweat. I think that's such a key, factor in detoxing or just maintaining a cleansed body as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The exercise movement is huge. The infrared sauna, I think, is a great thing to be able to do. It not just the sweating of it, but putting these infrared waves into your body. It's energy for your body. The mitochondria feed on it. It makes the mitochondria, the energy unit or production center of your body, work better. And yeah, especially up here. And during COVID and everyone locked down, that's just another point to make sure you get outside, walk, and the sun's beneficial for your body, and you need light, you need fresh air, or as fresh air as you can have. But yeah, we do have this problem of toxins in the environment. It doesn't seem to be getting a whole lot better with some of these chemicals. Electromagnetic radiation is a real big deal too with the cell phone towers and 5G now. I think that's going to be a big deal. So there are some ways to prevent that, but just limiting use, especially at nighttime and in your bedroom, get all the electronics out of your bedroom is, I think, a real big deal.